Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hood 3. And hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So we talked about about a week and a half ago, this channel, this podcast called Stugotz, and I guess Dan Lay Retard and Stugotz. And I guess they were a team for a long time. But now this Stugotz, and his name is John Wiener. Very unfortunate name. I mean, a name like that is the kind of name that is red meat to a lion like myself. You know, it's like throwing, blood and water, with the shark-filled water, really. A complete total feeding frenzy. But John Wiener, a.k.a. Stugotz, does not like Colin Cowherd. Another rather unfortunate name. So you got a guy named Wiener and a guy you could call Colin. You got a Wiener and a Colin. This is very unfortunate. It's a stretch. I'm stretching this. But to be amusing, this is how we will call Colin Cowherd for this video. We reach the headline from Bad Media. John Stugotz Wiener takes aim at Colin Cowherd, producer of a Fernando Mendoza appearance at Fernando Mendoza sounds like it's a very old name. Fernando Mendoza appearance at Super Bowl 60 Radio Row. This is the funniest thing I've read. Seriously, take some responsibility for your actions, man. I'm tired of the sports radio game where there's no accountability. Everyone's stabbing each other in the back. Well, tell that to Sal Licata and Brandon Tierney, where Craig Carton stabbed them in the back and got them basically skadoosh and sent off to the Phantom Zone, to where they're now independent YouTubers. Here's the article. Some possible tension inside the Fox Sports Radio family spilled into the public this week when John Wiener, a.k.a. Stugotz, accused Colin Cowherd, also known as Colin, and his producer of undercutting fellow hosts during Super Bowl 60 coverage. I would mention about Cowherd, he's a weird guy. He gets everything wrong. Speaking of Stugotz and friends, Wiener criticized Cowherd's program from landing Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. This followed Mendoza being booked to appear on Covino and Rich, which broadcasts live from Radio Row. The dispute centers on whether Cowherd's show overstepped by redirecting a guest who committed to another program under the same network umbrella. Wiener framed the issue as more than a simple scheduling mix-up, arguing that context matters during Super Bowl week because shows that travel to Radio Row invest significant time and resources for access. Quote, for every 10 big guests Colin gets, those guys, Covino and Rich, get one. Wiener said, let them have their big guests. It's Radio Row. They're physically there and grinding it out. They're doing the shows. Okay? While the controversy likely is more for show than serious, he contrasted the Radio Row experience with studio-based programs that rely on remote bookings, suggesting the effort required on-site should carry weight and importance when guest opportunities arise. Okay? Quote, if you go to Super Bowl week and you're physically there, it's different than being set up at your normal studio and just having guys filter guests into you. Wiener says, those guys were there grinding. That guest was theirs. It was booked on their show. Wiener reserved his sharpest criticism for Colin's producer, whom he accused of deflecting responsibility once the controversy surfaced. Although Covino and Rich say the responsibility lies on a freelance talent broker that worked a week with the company, Stug's ire didn't miss towards Cowherd's on-site producer. I need to clear this up, and I don't want to hear from Colin's producer, Wiener said. Seriously, take some responsibility for your actions, man. I'm tired of the sports radio game where there's no accountability. Everyone's stabbing each other in the back. According to Wiener, the decision to pursue Mendoza did not happen accidentally. He alleged that Cowherd's producer initiated the move, and later shifted blame. No, it was him, Wiener said. He told Colin, hey, order the code red. Or whatever that means. To their credit, both Cavino and Rich played off the moment and used it as a growing lesson. However, Wiener leaned on his own industry resume to explain why he believes the explanation offered publicly does not add up. Listen, I've done all the jobs, man. I know all the excuses. I know what to say. There's nothing that anyone has done in this industry is currently doing that I haven't done. I know how to weasel my way out of situations like that. Okay. Well, it's funny, a Wiener is able to weasel his way out of a situation. That's good to know. I don't want to know about that, but that's good to know. So the Wiener is able to weasel out of a situation with Colin. With Colin Cowherd. Or with this whole situation with Fernando Mendoza. I know Mendoza's going to be a great player. He's a great college player, but who knows what he's going to be in the NFL. He could be a bust, just like any other player from college into the NFL. You could always give Mendoza some other time when his team gets to the Super Bowl. Interesting. I will say this: the last video I did on Wiener and of course retard. One person wasn't too happy, said I need to grow up. Hey, lighten up, dude. Lighten up. It's all in good fun, right? Like I said, some of these names are like shoot monkeys in a barrel, folks. It's like red meat to a lion. It's like throwing blood in a pool of sharks. There's going to be a feeding frenzy. Can't help myself. I really can't. It's really bad. I have no idea. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Of course, this is the Baseball Head 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.